Hi. Hi, my name is John Navira. Join me on a journey of discovery. Previously, we saw that scarcity is at the center of poverty and inequality. It is the solution to this problem that brings higher standards of living or well-being in society. This is the hidden purpose of economic growth. Is it better that each person produces all that he needs? Or is it better that each produces only that which they produce better than anyone else? Which decision produces better results for society? In this presentation, Scarcity II, we look at decision-making under scarcity. We examine the hidden cost of foregoing a particular choice. We also examine budget constraints, PPFs, and optimization of production after specialization, and the institutional frameworks that aid market efficiency. Well, in our discussion, scarcity is a worldview. Scarcity is the view that individuals once exceed the possibilities available. The implication, of course, is that individuals, organizations, and society must forego something that they desire to secure that which they desire more. For instance, to buy a house, give up your international holidays. So we're talking of what are you willing to sacrifice in exchange for something. This is known as a trade-off. Budget constraints. As you know, anything in life you want to do is subject to a budget. And you can't spend all the money you have on a particular thing, but you have to spread it across. So the budget constraint highlights the possible range of choices. Choices beyond the budget constraint are clearly not affordable or too expensive. For example, champagne on a beer allowance is one of those things that you just cannot do. Opportunity cost is a measure, of course, by what we forego in exchange. Production possibilities, frontiers. This is a set of the alternative combinations of goods and services a society can produce based on the resources available. So we're looking at a situation where society cannot just produce anything that they dream of one day to the next. Choices outside the PPF curve are not achievable, and those within the PPF are wasteful. As the economy grows over time, the PPF curve will tend to shift outwards. But in most cases, we witness that the PPF curve tends to shift inwards in practice. The paradox. An interesting paradox develops over time, in that as increments of additional resources are devoted to production, the extra output or marginal increase will become increasingly smaller. It's unavoidable. Choices along the PPF curve usually highlight productive efficiency. It becomes impossible to use society's resources to produce more of one good, that is guns or butter. Specializations in those goods which they have a comparative advantage can enhance a country's total production because you can achieve more with less. Thinking economically. The economic way of thinking is a useful perspective to understanding human behavior. Economic analysis is rooted in a positive analysis of how individuals, organizations, governments actually behave, not how they should behave. So we are looking at things in reality. Data in Africa is the missing link. We don't have enough data. There are problems in collecting it. There are problems in analyzing it and storing it. Let's look at components of economic growth. A healthy climate for growth in GDP per capita really consists of improvements in human capital, physical capital, and technology, all happening in a market-oriented environment with supportive public policies and institutions. The emphasis being on supportive public policies and institutions is crucial. This brings us to a consideration of a country's institutional framework. The rate of productivity growth is the primary determinant of an economy's rate of long-term economic growth and higher wages. So productivity really means increasing more with less, which means increasing production of goods and services with less. Data on the level of productivity growth in Africa is scarce, yet it is a critical ingredient in sustainable development. Adherence to the rule of law and protection of property rights and contractual rights enables markets to work more effectively and efficiently, which can really aid economic growth tremendously. Therefore, due to compounding effect, it follows that even small increases in the rate of growth, when sustained over time, can result in great differences in the standards of living of a nation.